Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Anime Masters of the Apocalypse Anime Talks. I am your host, the Vampire Mess, and with me is the esteemed vampire hunter, Mikkel. Say hello, Mikkel.
Hey, great to be back.
Yes. Also with us is the zombie demon something Vlad.
Good to see you guys.
Good to have you. And we are going to talk about the anime question mark Castlevania from the Netflix. And Mikkel, since you're the one who chose this anime, you get to give a short summary of what it's about.
Okay, yeah. What it's about, in short terms, is basically the famous novel about Dracula, but with anime storytelling in it. That's basically the short story of this.
Have you read the original novel about Dracula? Because I'm just going to tell you they don't have anything in common.
Yeah, it's very far from.
Like this is based on the Castlevania games. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like it
It's
doesn't really have
okay.
much to do with the novel by Bram Stoker.
Okay, no, but it's based on the character from Dracula.
Oh yeah, they take the character, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Not
but
the
but that's
story
about it.
itself. No, it's not. Yeah, basically, it's about the characters from the famous vampire novel.
Well, one of them, but yeah.
Yeah, one of them, of course.
But yeah, we have this vampire hunter or monster hunter called what's his
Trevor Belmont.
Yeah, Trevor Belmont, who comes to this town with a big church that is what is that called, besieged by or is going to be destroyed by Dracula.
And his army of
And
demons.
yeah, and with a magician, or what do they call those,
The Seekers or
Cypher
something?
Bell?
Or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cypher Bell Nardis, or Cypher for short. They find out that there is this savior under the city that can help them.
Okay, I feel like
Kill
this summary
Dracula.
is becoming too long now.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Okay, short. Something bad happens to Dracula's wife. He decides wipe out humanity. We have these people who thinks that's not cool, so they try to stop him with the help of his son, who is Alucard. There.
Thank you.
Short summary. And there are other vampires who do evil stuff as well. Yes. And before we get into the details, each one of you will have to give your short opinion about the anime. So, Mikkel?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even sure if it was considered an anime. I mean, it's it's always like, is it or isn't it? But I would say it's wait, is it 10 scale? I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's a basic. I mean, I like it. I enjoyed it.
Mm,
Yep. And Vlad?
love it. It's great. I love it. It's great characters, great strong female characters, great strong again. What's that? Masculine characters,
Male?
everything. Male character. Thank you. Well, my brain is not working today. It's good, and the animation is awesome. Everything. Yeah, I really like it. And also the aesthetic of the whole thing. Yeah, really dig those gothic vibes.
Yeah, and as for me, I also like it. It does have some parts of it that kind of hurts it for my taste personally, but I'll get into that later. But all in all, I think it's a solid show. If you're into more darker stuff, then I would recommend it to you. So, let's move on to character analysis. So first we have our arguably the main character, I suppose, Trevor Belmont of the Belmont family. So all from the get-go, I would say that he comes across as very much unlike the regular, like the hero character, where when we see him, he's drunk, he's at a tavern, I think they mentioned that he smells, and he doesn't come across as again the hero when we first see him.
Yeah, I realized that you have chosen the clothing he got after he has been to Belmont Keep under the castle. And before that, he had some much more raggedy clothes. It really sold the the hunter for hire or the man for hire. He didn't care. He didn't care what monster he had to kill. Just pay him enough to buy booze and a place to sleep. That was, and that character they sold very well. It's very good good that they have made a character that can fit both that part of the story, but also later on when he meets Cypher and begins to wanting to make something out of himself again, wants to be with her. That he also fits into that character as well in his design. That's very very good. And just to if we look at all the characters, they really fit into a great they are very easy to animate. There isn't a lot. Again, the detail there is simple, but it's enough to imply detail. And that makes it very easy for animators to animate, because again, if you need to, let's say, make a turnaround of a character with all kinds of ornate details, that's gonna be a lot of man hours. But again, just look at Camilla over there. I know we're gonna talk about her later. Again, it's all implied, and also with Trevor, the small insignia on his chest. Again, it's the only thing that's really highly detailed. Everything else is just broad shapes, but it just gives that it gives that it gives the idea that it's embroidered or something. So it's a very ornate piece of clothing.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you that the character design works, and I don't have as much detail as you might have with that. Where I think his function works really well as this this world is supposed to be basically a very dark world where everything has gone to shit, and I think again he represents very much that, where the hero, where everything has just gone to shit for him, for lack of a better word. And I think that works really well, especially when when I think the character development works for him, where he becomes more closer to the ideal version of a hero without completely losing his earlier what to say downtrodden charm. What does it?
Yeah, he doesn't lose his personality through time. He always keep his personality, but it just gets polished up as we go in the story.
Yeah, and I like how we have three main characters essentially, and each of them pretty much represents something unique to them. Where Trevor, he's the completely normal human who uses his smarts and his martial arts training in order to get by. And without touching upon the others too much, of course, Cypher uses magic, and Alucard, he's half vampire, so he has vampire powers. So they're each unique in their kind of skill set in what they bring to the team. And I think that they complement each other really well in that regard. What do you think, Miguel?
Yeah, I mean, I think we basically covered all of it, but I like I know we talked about the design, but I like his weapons as well. I mean, what's it called, like the Morning Star or something like that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the changing. I mean, when he does that in the final battle, I mean, I love that weapon.
Mm,
Yeah, essentially the whip is
I
a weapon that works really well for him.
Yeah.
mm,
So I like the weapon design on this guy. But yeah, he's
mm.
basically like your average, like drunk, mean guy who doesn't care about anything, and then he like redeem himself in a badass way.
Mm.
Mm.
And what more can we say about him? I like the concept of the vampire hunter like family. Of we have a family of vampire hunters where all of their like craft and knowledge and weapons goes to the next generation, which also helps to explain why they're that good, because it's like
Mm.
multiple generations of work.
Mm.
Like that's just a concept I think is neat.
Mm.
There are parts of how the show uses it which I'm not completely on board with, but that's just my take.
Yeah.
So as far as vampire, the vampire hunter is a trope by itself. Like, do you guys think that the vampire hunter trope is done well in this series? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I really like what they have done with it. Also that it again, Trevor is again we can feel that he's knowledgeable in hunting. Again, he again it's not his first gig,
Mm-hmm.
but they again they we start with the story in an interesting place where there's something he can learn, and there's still again he's not complete in his journey or in his learning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, he's not a complete master, so it's again he's adept in doing it, but there's also room to grow. That's a very nice place to get a character to start out a character.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised about the lack of like backstory we get to the characters. Like when it comes to their
Yeah.
childhood and the like, we don't really get anything with that, do we?
Mm,
Not as I can recall, anyway.
well, Alucard a bit again. What his ties to his parents were. That becomes a
Then it
pretty
becomes
big thing.
yeah,
But
it
other
becomes a
than that,
plot point, but we don't really get to see or hear about it.
no. Actually, now that you say,
Like we are
we never get
told that,
the
but we don't see any
yeah.
flashbacks.
No.
Like we're told that Trevor, he was part of the Belmont family. He was trained by the Belmont, and his family all died at some point, and everything went bad for them because they stopped receiving the support of blah blah blah. But we never shown
Hmm.
any of it. We just told that's what happened.
Hmm.
So yeah, like
Oh.
just kind of just the thought, and it's the same thing with all of the characters. We never see a flashback, do we?
Whoa, no.
Not with the main characters
Yo,
anyway.
no. We do. We not really a flashback, but maybe
Killer's son, but
no.
except that we
That's yeah.
What did you say?
No,
Hmm.
I don't think we get one. I don't think we can get a flashback in the first 2 seasons. No.
So
Huh.
with that, do you guys have more to add about Trevor's character?
No. I think we
No.
talked about everything.
All right, then let's go on to Cypher. Where
Oh, she's so cool.
you want to take this,
I love
Vlad?
Yes, she's so cool. Her design it's again because the first thing we see is her using ice, and that's again just her design with the orange hair and the cool like what's that called, the cape, whatever
Cloak?
the thing. Again, we already know what, again, in her color design we already know what elements she's gonna wield in the series. And again, just just the way again. For some reason, since we watched Naruto, we have all watched Naruto. I really like how can you use hand signs to like reflect how to use magic. And the cool thing that they do in this series, I don't know if it's just me who has thought about it. When she does magic, or maybe creates fire or creates ice, she makes that the rock and roll sign.
Yeah.
You know, that some people think it's a sign of a devil. And that's such a cool way to combine that with the witch hunting and all that, because again, the church didn't like magic users, and they don't like magic users, and again, that's so cool. So that's a great way to like combine those things. And also she's just she starts very uptight and very just follow the plan to the T. And later on, Belmont rubs off of her and transfers Cypher rubs off of Trevor, and that's just a great dynamic. It's again they complement each other so well. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's great, and I agree with she complements Trevor a lot. They are a great duo. Yeah, there's a reason why when in the later on when the team splits, both Trevor and Cypher they keep those two together. Because they got great chemistry. She's pretty much what's it called? Like in Japanese, there's something like she's the straight man to Trevor's.
Yeah,
his,
I haven't heard that, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like he does something stupid or says something crash or something, and then she responds with something.
But again, she does it actually well. Again, because there are some animes where it's done horribly. But she reacts like what you would expect, and not overly reacts.
Yeah.
She doesn't punch him or something. I don't think so.
Yeah. One thing I will say about her, like I agree that her magic is cool, but I think the show is just a little bit inconsistent with what she can actually do with her magic. Like it just kind of seems like they just come like okay, what would be most cool for her to do here, or what does we need for her to do in order to keep the plot going? They never actually explain the magic system, or like what the limits of what she can do is.
Isn't that just the consequences of a soft magic system?
Maybe I just like there being like a clear okay, you can do magic, what can and can't you do? That's just for me, like I kind of missed some of that. Or else we're just going by rule of cool, which is fine, but it just seems like with this kind of show where there's just a lot of drama, just I can kind of like expect a bit more.
Do you think it would add to the drama if they actually made a solid system? Maybe if there isn't enough moisture in the room, so I can't do a lot of ice magic, or
honestly, they don't have,
just rain.
Like they don't. I don't think they have to like make a solid system. Just like give clear limits is kind of what I'm asking. Like show like she can't do this, or she can only do this much. Like when she makes fire magic, like which is really cool that she shoots fireballs out of her hands. Like they don't really like show a clear limit of how powerful her fire magic is. They just kind of like make it up as they go. Like how powerful do they need it for this scene, or for this plan, or
Mm.
In general, they never explain the magic. Like when I think I might get into this a bit later, but
Yeah, we can wait with that.
yeah, we'll wait. I'll wait for that. But that's just kind of my one gripe. But if you just go by rule of cool, then her magic works perfectly there. Like it is cool as heck when she whips out the all of the
Yeah.
magic attacks. One thing that's kind of funny is that she definitely becomes the core action girl of the series, but she actually started out kind of as a damsel in distress, where Trevor has to find her
Yeah.
trapped in stone because of the Cyclops or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he first saved her, I did not expect her to become an important character. Actually, like, what do you guys? Were you surprised by her importance later on?
Well, nah, I wasn't really because maybe it's just because I looked at her design that that's a lot of time to put into a design that isn't gonna be used that much. So yeah, and also that she was introduced very early on. I had a lot of interactions with him.
Mm. How about you, Miguel?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way, but I did feel at some points it's gonna be important because it seems like like the mom to those two, because those two are like two kids who hate each other. And she's like trying to keep them together. So I think expect her to like take a lead in some way,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
but not in that way. I mean, she was way more powerful than I expected at the end.
Oh yeah, I agree that. Like, I did not expect the girl who was defeated by the Cyclops and turned to stone became one of the strongest characters by the end.
Yeah.
Like, just by showing what she could do. So one thing I think that we talked about Trevor's character development before, and I think Sypha's character development is also really good, if not better actually, because as you said, like she kind of starts out as this stickler for the rules and like things are this way, so we have to do it like this way. Where she becomes a lot more like things aren't always like what they look, or a bit more free thinking as the series progresses.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I think that works really well for her. And again, complements Trevor, where they both kind of give each other more. Like Trevor becomes a bit more nicer and a bit more trusting of people, where Sci-Fi kind of becomes a little less of that, which in this case is actually good.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, right. They complement each other and rubbing off each other very nicely.
Yes, and the blue looks good on her, I gotta say.
Mm.
So, do you guys have more to add about Sci-Fi?
No.
Yeah, I think we covered it all.
All right, then let's go to Alucard, the son of Dracula.
Oh, good boy, Elcard.
He tries
Such a
so
good boy.
hard.
He tried so hard. It's so funny because he's so much a child in many ways. In many ways, he's so. Yeah, he's.
He is kind of childish
Again-
in that he throws a fit when he doesn't get what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so interesting because we have this character that is how many years old? Many years old. He's old. He's very old.
I don't think Alucard's that old actually.
I think
Oh,
he's that
isn't
old either. I can't remember how old he actually is.
Like,
Yeah, because he should be again his mom and all that. Yeah, he shouldn't be that old. But yeah, he's on par with age with Trevor and Cypher.
we assume so, yeah.
Probably. We assume so, yeah. But he also has this otherworldly aura about him because he's a vampire.
Half
Or
vampire.
half a vampire. Yeah, half vampire.
He looks like he's ready
So
for
he's-
Twilight.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's such a cool third wheel on this car. because we have two very, very human characters, but Alucard is, again, he's just very unhuman in many ways, and also in the way he like interacts. It's it is very cold, and how he speaks, again, how he talks back to them. That's also again that's a thing that they give to him. He's becoming more human.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so cool, and also the design is just so fucking sleek. Look at that design, just the silver hair, and then the white shirt, and just jet black. Yeah, that's cool. That's so sleek.
As well,
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah,
And also, nope.
I agree. I mean, it's a really, in the beginning, I thought he was a really bleak guy. I mean, he seems like motionless, which is understandable because he's a vampire, but I didn't really like this character in the beginning because he was just, just a typical, like, I don't like any of you guys. But then you start to get emotional, you actually start to like this guy. Especially when they fight together as well. That's really awesome.
It's kind of funny. I couldn't help but like compare him to like early versions of Batman, when like Batman is all like, I'm a loner, I don't want to feel alone, but then he finds friends in Superman and Robin and all that.
Yeah, that's true.
I couldn't help but make that comparison.
Yeah. He's the vampire Batman.
I don't know if I want to go that far, but
Yes.
Alucard, the vampire Batman. And also he's the resident hot guy of the trio. Like all of the fan service they do with Alucard is wild.
Oh yeah,
he gets
that's
like,
also he gets so much fan service, and it's good.
He doesn't he get it like, okay, this is beyond what we're going to talk about here, but I'm just going to mention it because it's relevant. Like he gets like a short sex scene in one of the next seasons at one point even.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, and the amount of off-shirt like scenes with Alucard is insane.
Yeah, and the bondage, the fucking bondage.
Like they know Alucard is hot and they want to show you.
Yeah, they sold it hard. Yeah, that's also a good thing about this show. Actually, male fan service. Thank God, it happens. We just need Western animation. Yeah. But yeah, that too. They know he's hot, and they are gonna sell on it, and that's good.
So let's move on to Camilla then. So the reason why I chose Camilla is because first off, she's one of the more pronounced characters in the show, but also there's an argument to be made that she's the real like villain for a lot of it, or at least one of the most like is the villain characters, more than Dracula at some points.
Yeah, Dracula is like the immediate threat. Camilla is like the meddler, the planner behind the thing.
Yeah, he's scheming. He's the scheming character.
Yeah.
And it's like immediately when she appears, she like starts trying to, like you can just see her that she's trying, like making plans, talking to people, trying to figure out where their allegiance is, like what are their strengths and weaknesses, what are Dracula, where does he stand, what is his plan, and everything. And especially what the things that she does with what's his character's name, like Hector or something.
Yeah.
One of those like human servants of Dracula, where she is so good at like
manipulating.
Yeah, manipulating him. Like I felt so bad for Hector. Like it's basically what happens later on, but that's after this. But we're not going to talk about that. But
no,
damn. And
that's cool.
Okay, Vladdy, you're the design guy, so go.
Well, she's a fucking femme fatale.
In all the good ways.
And that's it. The design is very femme fatale. Again, she has there are some hints of royalty with with the I get it's gold. I would guess it is gold embroidered shoulders, and again the shoes. Yep, clearly a vampire with the nails and the hair, and the pale skin. If it isn't clearly in the visual, but yeah, she's a femme fatale, and I think most of the good points about her, because again, the design itself of her could have been meh if it wasn't attached to a very great character, some very good writing, and some fucking awesome voice acting. By the way, the voice actors are just amazing in this show. Dracula's voice actor. We're gonna speak about him when we get to him. But fuck, I love that. I'm gonna find out his name actually right now, so I don't forget when we get to him. But yeah, she's a femme fatale, and yeah, the design doesn't tell us much more about her, but the way she works, the way she actually uses her looks is so clearly visual as a visible in the show with Hector, with the what is that, the brutish vampire called
Godbrand?
Yeah, Godbrand.
The guy that's from Norway, apparently.
Yeah. He's the Viking. He's the Viking vampire.
Yeah, and he fucks boats, apparently.
Yeah. But
yeah.
but yeah. Again, it's clearly visible in the show how she uses her looks. So yeah, it makes sense. It's for her, her looks is also a tool.
Yeah, one thing I like about the character, like in the first 2 seasons that we're talking about here, like it's all about her, like how smart she is and how scheming she is. We don't really see her in like a real battle before the next seasons, I think. Oh, am I wrong here? Do I remember wrong? Like there's the epic like boss fight that in like the last season, but in these first 2 seasons where she essentially becomes like the main vampire at the end, it's all about how clever she is in weakening Dracula and his army and the other people who are loyal to Dracula and not loyal to her.
Yeah, it's in these the 2 first seasons are very much her. Again, doing what she does best, and that's scheming and manipulating and planning.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, it's again in the last season. We aren't seeing her in what she wants to do. We are seeing in what she needs to do. So actually, we are seeing Camilla at her best in the first 2 seasons.
You can say that. Like I also like her in the other seasons, but yeah.
Yeah. But we're seeing her in her elements.
Yeah, you would say that. Yeah. So you guys have more to add?
Nope.
All right, then let's talk about the man of the hour, Dracula.
Yeah.
So.
Do we have something interesting to say about his character, Mess?
What can I say? It's fucking Dracula. Like,
yeah.
Like, okay, Dracula. I'm gonna say it right out the gate. Before we even get to discuss like this version of Dracula, what a Dracula, like the concept of the character itself, is one of the most enduring villains of forever. And I, as a person, love the concept of Dracula just as a villain. And this is one take on it that I think is really good. And one thing that's interesting about his character is that he's not just he's not just the big bad that does evil. They actually do try to give him some like humanizing characteristics in this version. Like they give like there is his wife, which he loved, who gets killed, and it's because of that that he wants revenge against the humans for killing his wife. So he's not just I am the evil Dracula, I kill people because I am evil. They do try to give him some more character there. Like, so what do you guys
like
think?
how. Oh. Yeah. Do you want to take the word before I do it, Miko?
Yeah, sure. I've seen so many versions of Dracula, but yeah, this version is probably one of my favorites because of how fucking, badass he is. From the moment he's showing like how advanced he is with technology to releasing his army on the village people. Everything about that I just love, and
Mm-hmm.
especially in this anime because they can go so far with the effects on this guy. He's really brutal, and at the end he gets human as well. So I don't know, I like this version of Dracula, if I have to be honest. But yeah, he looks like the typical Dracula character, if I had to say, like the design wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the design we can thank the games for that very much.
The games have a lot of different designs for Dracula. If you actually look at like how
Really?
he looks in the different games, yes, they have a lot of different designs for him.
What? But in the game where Alucard, because there's a game with Alucard too,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
I think
you play
the
him.
main game that this is based on is Castlevania 3, I do believe. And there he has like 3 forms or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, one of these are very faithful to this design that they have gone with, right?
Yeah.
What I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the basic design of Dracula.
Yeah, in like his normal form.
But
He has like multiple forms in the game.
But what I really like about his design is very. Again, he just encompasses this prime vampire. Again, it's very his everything is just very gothic and very like fictional gothic. What we yeah. Basically, again, I'm trying to think of clever words to use, but I just come back to what we think about when we talk about vampires, basically. But it's just really like that you can see in all of the other vampire designs, basically that. Yeah, I can see how they all came from Dracula. That Dracula turned them into vampires and all that. Yeah, and it's so cool. And also we can't really see it here, but there's something again. The cool thing about his face, and again, props to the character designers and the animators. It can both. It can encompass so many feelings and so many like looks. He can both be the very fucking angry monster, the furious, all-destroying monster, and he can also be this like very tired, basically a very tired old man who just wants to end it all. Again, every time he isn't speaking about destroying the humans, he's just sitting and is just tired and just sad about not having what were her name again? Lisa? That was his
Lisa
lover,
Tibbers, I
right?
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
They mostly call her like his wife.
Yeah.
Dracula's wife.
That's so cool. And there's also again the way. Yeah, that's also maybe a props to the writing. Yeah, I could really see him maybe in his younger days be very into mechanics and and alchemy and all that. Yeah, that was probably a time in this man's life where he was interested in studying. But when we get into this story, that time is long gone, and there's for him, at least for him, there's nothing left to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was my 2 cents on Dracula.
Yeah, okay. When I have to be honest that I am a little bit biased in that whenever I see Dracula, I always in fiction, I always expect him to be one of the strongest characters. Like I enjoy my Dracula who is a complete badass, and definitely get that from this show. Like I know in the games, there's like the Grim Reaper, which is death itself is one of his servants. And that just like it's not the same thing there in this show, but essentially I still get that kind of like the biggest, baddest MF guy around is Dracula, and I do get that feeling from him, both by the way he acts, but also how everyone talks about him. Like even when he's like starving himself and weakening and essentially like dying, everyone else is like, oh yeah, he's weakened, but he is still the strongest guy there is. I don't want to take him. I can't take him in a fight. And I just enjoy that. That's just my own personal enjoyment. I like that.
Yeah. Again, it's not a question. It's not a question if you can take Dracula. It's more a question. Well, how badly are you going to be destroyed by him?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny that in terms of taking Dracula down, it kind of took the combined force of both Dracula weakening himself and actually losing the will to live. Like Trevor, Cypher, Alucard teaming up and getting like progressively stronger before they fight Dracula. And also Camilla doing a bunch of stuff which also weakens Dracula. Before he at the end actually goes down. So yeah, I would say as far as final boss goes, he works well. Like we were from the very moment of episode 1, you're looking forward to them confronting Dracula in the final battle, so to say.
Yeah.
So should we move on?
Yeah.
Unless you guys want to say more about Dracula.
We're probably gonna get into it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like he's a very central character, honestly.
Really? Really? Do you think?
Oh yeah, I do in fact think that. Speaking of, vampire and anime, does it work?
Fuck yeah.
And this was yours, Mikkel.
Yeah, I mean, because I haven't watched that many anime and vampire put together, so this was the first time for me, at least.
Really? I can tell you, there is a lot.
I can see from the pictures that there are way more vampire versions.
Oh my god, what is that? The right top? Oh my god.
Right? You mean Helsing?
Yeah, Helsing. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's What did you say, Mikkel?
No, I know that character, but I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, I can recommend. It's super.
Oh yeah, that's so good. Okay. Well, let's get back on track. Sorry.
Yeah, you were saying. I think I interrupted you actually, Mikkel. So.
Sorry.
No, I mean, it's not about the vampire itself, but it's more about making a story about Dracula. I mean, does it work? I think it does. I mean, because of these fight scenes and the way his backstory, like not backstory, but the way the story moves. I like the way this Dracula version is just so sensitive, but at the same time he's just brutal when he loses his wife. I mean, he goes completely apeshit on this village, and I like this version of Dracula. The only thing I kind of missed about this character is seeing more, like fight scenes from this guy. I mean, most of the time it's just servants doing his bidding, but I would actually like this Dracula to be a little more like savage as well.
I think I disagree a bit with you there. I
Yeah,
actually
me too.
like
Actually,
I like the fact that we don't get to see Dracula fight a lot because he lets his servants do most of the fighting for him because
Yeah, he's
like
a king, I know.
what? What did you say, Nicole?
No, I just said yeah, because he's a king, but still, I would really want like this guy to just go brutal on his own as well, just to show that he is the big guy, the top dog.
Yeah, well, to me, like you were showing that you're the top dog by not like fighting. Like the other they are
Uh,
so far beneath you that I don't even have to do anything myself. My servant can do things for me. That's like 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 villain at the top is what they kind of do that. Like the emperor only goes to fight until it's absolutely necessary because everyone else is so far beneath them.
yeah,
That's just how I see it. But if you want some more like vampire action, then go watch Helsing. The Dracula in there goes
oh,
for the, goes for the
oh,
throat every time and
it's
personal.
on my list.
fucking good.
And he
It's
fires
It's
so
on
good.
guns.
Oh, there's only like 10 episodes. I should have picked that one.
Yeah, but
That
they are almost an hour long. All.
Okay.
I was seriously thinking about it too. It's so good.
If you guys want to know about the other two vampires I put on the screen, you could also ask.
Yeah, sure. Who are those guys?
Well, there are two vampire girls, and let me show anime loves their vampire girls like a lot. So
Yeah.
so one is called I think she's called Karen, and she's a reverse vampire. So she actually produces blood a lot, and in order to stop her blood from being like producing and going wild, she has to bite people in order to like stop it. Shenanigans ensues.
For fuck's sake.
I know, right? And like I said,
Only
there's a
an
lot of
anime.
nose bleeding in that anime.
Mm.
The other one is from what's it called? I can't remember what the anime is called. Like, but it's about a monster school where all sorts of mythical monsters go to, and one random human happens to, on accident, go to that school as well, and they eat humans, so that's not good. But then he gets befriends a vampire girl, who is obviously the strongest character in that school, so she can protect him from all the other monsters that might do him harm. And they fall in love as well.
Of course they do.
Yeah. And yeah, so vampire anime does in fact work. It is a time-honored
Yeah.
tradition that goes down far. I could have chosen a bunch of other pictures, a bunch of other characters, honestly.
Mm.
Like the only other character that I'm a little annoyed I didn't get, but because there wasn't a space for it, was like Shaltier from Overlord.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's move on. Oh, this is your lad.
Woo! The nature of evil.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like how evil it's evil is a word and that is used pretty predominant very often in this in this show. How the church describes people who doesn't fit into their beliefs, and also a bit, and also not directly, because Dracula basically thinks that humans are evil and therefore they don't deserve living. Because for him they destroyed the best thing in the world, Lisa.
Yeah.
And that's all. Therefore, they should not. They should not. They don't deserve to be a part of a world that she loved. Again, the world of chemistry and mechanics and nature, basically. So yeah, he wants to destroy them because he wants to like purify the world from what he did, from what Lisa liked. but also again that's his point. When if we look at the church again, it's very again we have these people that again they believe in the in Christianity, but we also have again it gets corrupted by some of these what's the higher hierarchy of priests called? It's
Like
called
bishops.
yeah,
priest.
bishops. Yeah, high priests and bishops and yeah, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Again, they don't. Again, they say they are believers, but they do it for ambition. They again much of what they do is because they want power, and therefore corrupts what they believe in. And again takes things out to the extreme. Oh my god! I just realized the monster has a baby in it. Fuck yeah! Oh, that's so good. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, cool.
It's the nature of evil. It was the most
Yeah,
evil
that's the
picture I could
nature of
find.
evil. Baby eating monster. Oh, that's good. That's very good. But yeah, again, that's the cool thing I think about again Trevor, and Cypher and all that, and Elcott again. One of the characteristics that makes them heroes again is because they slowly need to put aside many ambitions to to again become more hero-like. And again, Trevor needs to again. Trevor could just go monster hunting, but yeah, now he's on his journey to try saving the world. I don't think if he didn't meet Cypher and Elcard, he would do that.
Yeah,
Again,
definitely.
that it doesn't sound like a. It sounds like a job that's high risk, low rewards, or at least rewards that doesn't add up to the risks. Again, Cypher is very. What was Cypher's ambition actually?
Well, she was one of the
Oh, the
speakers, right? Like the
yeah,
nomadic
yeah,
people. And the first ambition was just kind of like protect her people, the speakers.
yeah.
But then it was like once they met like Alucard and all that and Trevor, the next ambition was save the world from
Yeah.
Dracula.
Yeah. Again, yeah, she becomes also less selfish, and again, not that she is very selfish from the start, but again, she's thinking of a very particular group of people, and then she goes to like saving all humanity. Again, one of the other is linked, so it isn't very. It isn't very coupled up to her. Elcard, on the other hand, again, he has to kill his father. I think it would be very easy for him to, again, just join his father. Again, go on, be the vampire prince. But again, he has chosen not to, and that is a sacrifice. Again,
I feel like you're like forgetting a tiny detail in Alucard's
have
sacrifice.
I?
Yeah, in
Have
that
I?
Dracula's plan is to do double suicides, that all
Yeah,
vampires and
that's
all
right.
humans should die. So it's not really a
Yeah.
sacrifice from Alucard's side.
Yeah, you're
Because
right.
if he goes with
Yeah.
his father's plan, then he dies along with all the other vampires.
Yeah, because there's no more humans to
Yeah.
eat. Yeah.
I'm not saying
So,
that
yeah.
Alucard is a like selfish for wanting to stop his father or anything, but I'm just saying that it's not really if he went to his father and helped him in his plan, it wouldn't end well for Alucard. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. In the end, he would die too. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So personally, where if I can say something, if you're done talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I see what you mean. I think the show does have a problem in kind of like showing people are as being either good or bad. Because, and this goes into organizations as well, where all the people who are in some way related to the Christian church, they're all evil, like straight up evil, with no redeeming qualities whatsoever, as far as we're shown. And then we have the other, like this other organization, which the church is after apparently, like the speakers. All of them are just super good people who just sacrifices their own well-being to help everyone else, even if they don't want their help. So I think, to me, the show has a tendency to be a bit too much black and white, in that there are good people and there are evil people, and nothing in between. And that's
we're also in the world where it has, again, everything is shit.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean. I agree that everything is shit. But what I'm saying is that how they show that like everyone related to these people, they're all evil, and everyone related to these people, they're all good. Like they don't show a selfish speaker or a good priest or a good Christian.
Yeah. That is a good point.
Yeah, like the absolute worst scene in the show, in my opinion, is when there are like, I think like 3 priests or monks or something. They're like harassing these speakers, where the speaker like says something like, "Oh, I'm just a humble old man. Why would you waste your time on attacking me?" And where the Christian priest is like, "Maybe I just like killing people." And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
What? Like, the show really goes out of its way to try to show everyone who's related to Christianity as evil and diabolical as possible. Like, there are no good Christians in this show. Nada.
No.
And I think that's kind of lame, honestly. And a bit insulting. And I'm not against.
It could definitely have been more
nuanced.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah. And I know, and I'm not going to talk about this now because I'm going to talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah, but one thing I do like, we do have that whole. Okay, we have humans doing evil stuff, but in the name of good, so to say. And we have karma hitting them with like demons and blood raining from the sky, which is the traditional like evil imagery.
Armageddon.
Yeah, Armageddon, which then kills all these people who says they are the nature of good and all that. I do see the karma in there. And when we come to the nature of evil, we're gonna talk about this because one of the things that I like in where Lisa Tebet, when she's being burned, she's like, they don't understand and don't hate them and all that. Where the point is, when it comes to evil, when are you actually evil? When are your actions evil? Like, are your actions evil based on the actions that you take, or are your actions evil based on the reason why you're taking your actions? So, like, we can all agree that burning a woman is evil, right?
Yeah.
But is burning a demon, the spawn of the devil, is that evil?
Well, that's that's not that easy to answer. I think it depends.
Depends on what.
What if it's a good demon?
But that, as far as you know, you're absolutely sure of this, and everyone in your community is absolutely sure of this. All these demons just want to kill you and everyone you love and damn you to hell for all eternity. And the only way you can save yourself and everyone you love is by burning them on a stake.
Well, I should be sure. Do I know it will do this? Again, is it a monster? Do I know it will happen?
Yes, it's a monster in human form. And it has happened before. That's what everyone says.
It has done it before. Well, that makes it a bit easier.
Oh, it has done it before. Like, as far as you know.
As far as I know, well,
Yes, again, you're believing that you're killing a demon that wants to kill you and everyone you love. Like, if you believe you're doing a good thing, are you then a good person, even if what you're doing, you could argue, is bad?
I'm uninformed. That's a good point. Well, I'm uninformed.
Yeah, and that's like when she's
and my
screaming to the
action,
sky.
and my action is very evil. But that doesn't make me as a person evil. I would say that I'm uninformed and my actions are evil.
But they kind of shoot themselves in the foot because while it looks like they're going to go that route, they kind of ruin it by having a fucking priest saying, maybe I just like killing people. Saying, oh yeah, I'm evil. Like, I like killing people.
Yeah. Well, then he's
I'm not killing demons, I'm killing people.
Then he's just an evil guy.
Yeah, but
that's plainly just evil.
Yeah. He says he doesn't say I'm killing demons. No, I'm killing people. He says that. That's the quote.
He's just an evil guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a big. That's not a bit. That's a lot of bland. That's a very bland characters. But thankfully, he's not an important character.
That's like none of the church people are important. They all either die or just run away and act like they're bad. Again, there's no good Christians in this show. All Christians are evil. If you ask this show, and all they do is being greedy and kill people because they're evil and greedy.
Yeah. How did Christ? I don't really think they didn't go so hard on in the games with Christianity, did they? No,
other than like stuff like you can use crosses to like hurt demons. Like, that's the only thing they used in the games, as far as I know.
Well, it's interesting.
So this is invented by the show. I'm just gonna say, and this is the thing that kind of hurts the show for me: the fact that it's hatred of Christianity.
Well, Christians are evil. Then they like killing people.
Yeah. And it's not even religion because at one point they show like in a later, it's not in these two seasons, but in later seasons they kind of like show Muslims positively as like good people who just want to get by in the world. But like there's this scene where the guy Isaac, he's talking to a person who's like a merchant who's saying like, I was just living normal, like happy life, selling my wares, but then until the Christians came and ran me out of town and killed everyone I loved. And I'm like, come on. like they say it downright, like I was living a good life until the Christians came. Like I think the creators have something against Christianity. Not against religion, Christianity specifically.
Yeah, I just think again it's not perfect writing, but again I just think that's what they went with. They needed something human that's evil.
Yeah.
And again that just in this case it was just Christianity. Christianity is the human evil.
Yeah, it was created. They threw that under the bus in order to tell the story that they wanted to tell.
Yeah, they needed something very fundamentally evil for Dracula to have to give Dracula enough reason to like wipe out the whole humanity. It's pretty funny that it's Christianity he can blame for it, but there's a lot of people who doesn't have anything to do with it. It would actually make more sense for Dracula to say all Christians need to die, or like all believer. Yeah, it did. Again, what about the people on the other side of the world?
They're
getting wiped out as well. Fuck them.
Yeah, look, I'm just gonna say, like, I've heard people say that they kind of like feel bad for Dracula and they kind of get where he's coming from, and I'm like, no, he is deciding to do mass genocide on the entire human race because of some people in one city.
Yeah, basically.
Like, how are people feeling bad about Dracula? He's a mass murdering genocidal maniac.
but also,
he's a cool villain, but I
makes-
don't feel bad for him.
But it's also, but it's funny. That's maybe the most human thing. That's maybe the most human thing about Dracula. That
You mean
he was
irrational
so madly
hatred?
in love. Yeah, irrational hatred. He was so madly in love with Lisa that, well, I hate everything now because my love is dead.
And now he's
So,
doing the same
fuck
thing
everything.
he's doing the same thing the Christians did. Irrational hatred against something they don't understand, so what's their response? Kill it.
Because he hates people now.
Yeah.
He wants to kill people.
Which includes babies, as we can see on this picture.
Oh, perfect.
Baby killer Dracula.
Perfect.
Okay, what do you think, Mikkel? Me and Vlad have talked a lot now.
I don't know. I mean, we covered so much stuff now. But nature's evil. I think everybody is evil in this show except the three main characters.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right on that one.
Yeah, so let's... Before we get into another philosophical debate, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Use of historical setting. I think the worst decision this show did was use a historical setting. Because they do a lot of non-historical things. And I know that maybe not everyone who watches this, but a lot of people who watch this are gonna see like the Catholic Church doing all of this and all of this happening, and so, oh yeah, it really was that bad back then. Oh man, the church really did those things back then, man. Oof, that's so terrible. I know a lot of people are gonna act like that and actually eat it up raw. But I can tell you,
Hopefully not as a historical fact.
it's not. Because
Okay.
this is happening in like the 1400s, according to the show, and it's happening in Wallachia, which is part of like Eastern Europe. And what do they believe in Eastern Europe? Eastern Orthodox, not the Catholic Church, Eastern Orthodoxy. And the show shows it to be the Catholic because when we show Christianity in fiction, it's always Catholic. Yes, and you want to know something? As far as witch burnings go, there weren't really that many, if any, at all, witch burnings by the Orthodox Church, as far as we know.
Huh.
So witch burning is in Wallachia? Nope,
Not at least not historically.
not historically.
Yeah.
But people are gonna believe now because some people are gonna believe that, oh yeah, there were witch burnings back then. And you want to know something that's really funny? In fact, witch burnings were actually outlawed by the Catholic Church for about 200 years at this point. The show is happening. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so. Oh, thank you for telling me this. Oh, that's so cool that you know this.
Yeah, because I study.
Oh. Yeah, you studied history. You're studying history. Yeah?
Yes, so this pisses me off. Seeing the
that's
Catholic
interesting.
Church being like just demonized so hard, even though they were the first ones to actually ban the burning of witches. And you know who continued to do it? The Protestant Church actually continued to do it at this point. Yeah. So you want to know who were the ones responsible for burning like witches in all these countries? It was not the church who were in charge of that. No, it was the secular government. Because, fun fact, not just church people were religious back then. Everyone was religious back then. Yeah. This just angers me, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's your inner historian that's speaking now. I think.
Yeah. So I think what they
That's
should
very
yeah.
cool.
So what they should
That's
have
very
done.
cool insight. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we show her like with this one character, he's like a bishop at this point, and they show that once that they burned this witch, then there happens like a time skip, and then he's become like a higher ranked bishop or something, and then he gets murdered off. That makes absolutely no sense. Like he would actually, you know what would have happened in real life had he actually done this? Yeah, he would have been excommunicated by the church. because
Yeah,
he
that
would
makes
have
sense.
have burned alive an innocent woman, as far as the Catholic Church is concerned.
Oh, that's so cool inside. You got
Yeah.
there.
So
I'm gonna take some tea. Again, drink some tea because you sound so intellectual.
oh, thank you, thank you. So there's a thing with when it comes to religion, it's always the Catholic Church that kind of gets thrown under the bus, and it's almost always shown as being as corrupt and like decadent and evil as possible. Like there's a tendency to show that, even though it doesn't really always reflect how it was in real life. Especially in this case. So what I think they should have done here, instead of having it be a historical thing, they should have just have come up with something. And I'm fine with them be whatever they come up with have been based on the like Christian church. I'm fine with that. But they should have used something else, like just something original instead of the church. And instead of Europe and Wallachia, they should have just done something else, I think. Just come up with some random stuff that's clearly based on Christianity but isn't Christianity.
But how about the games? What are they placed in?
Well, they're placed in Wallachia and all that, but as far as I know, it's really not as like open world as this series is. Also, I know that there are
Yeah, it
different
doesn't
games
have
with
that much.
that like the basic games are mostly like Dracula's castle, really. Then you have to like go into his castle, fight his monsters until you get to Dracula, and then you kill Dracula. So this is all like the Netflix show that they come up with. They chose to show an not historical Catholic Church doing not historical things because they really wanted to show how evil the Catholic Church was. Yeah.
Yeah.
What more? Do I have anything else to add? No, I think I pretty much covered it. Actually, no, wait. There is one other thing.
Okay.
To me, it makes absolutely no sense that the Christian religion would be like as similar to how it is in real life with the added elements that we see in the show. Because okay, there is this thing where in Christianity, like back in the day, magic was from the devils or whatever. You saw magic, you would assume that it was like the devil at work, or devil's powers, something. And here's the thing where in the show we like see, oh, science. We don't understand what it is, so we assume it's magic, so we assume it from the devil. There's a problem with that. Because magic is an actual thing in this show. So in a world where magic is an actual thing, why would they confuse science for magic when magic is an actual thing? And it's not like magic is a secret or anything. No one is surprised when sci-fi uses magic. That's like it's like,
No,
oh yeah,
yeah,
I'm a
you're
magician.
right, yeah.
Like magic is apparently a known fact in this world. Then why are they confusing science for magic when magic is an actual thing? That makes no sense.
That's true.
Well, they again what I remember from the show again Dracula uses science to like teleport his
No, he uses magic.
like a yeah it's no I really believe it was some pseudo science
No, it's magic.
combination.
Like Cypher says she can like take control of it because it's like magic spelled and she can like try to take over and then she can teleport it to where she wants it to go because she's also magic.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Because in the Belmont Keep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the whole science angle is pretty much dropped after the first episode. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and and right when they again it's like hinted towards in when they go when Elkhart is showing them around in the castle. But other than that, yeah. Huh. Oh, it would have been That's just my point. It would have been much better if the magic was some kind. Well, you can access it by some pseudo scientific magic thing. Again, basically like science fiction. Again, you can basically do shit by knowing shit. But yeah, it would have been better in that way actually.
Yeah, so it's like I said, I think the show is generally good, but there are some parts of it that just kind of hurts it for my take.
Oh, come on, Mads, you made me think. Come on.
I'm sorry, Vlad. Sometimes you just have to think.
I was so happily ignorant about it. And now I'm knowledged. No.
Yes, inconsistencies. They exist in this show.
No!
I will talk about them more later as well. So yeah, it makes no sense that a world where monsters so readily exist would be a reflection of our world. No, a world where monsters and magic is so readily available would be a way different world. It wouldn't even look close to similar to how our world looks like.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense that it's happening in like an our world-ish.
You know why I thought a lot about magic must be this pseudo scientific thing. It was because the whole thing with the corpse guys, but Isaac and Hector.
Yeah.
The whole thing about them, again, the methods to like make these living things are so they're very specific. So again, it looks like they're using calculations, and again, the aesthetic. It's very aesthetically like scientific, and like all that the thing that we see as the arts of the books or whatever. But again, when you look behind that, it's just very it's magic with more steps.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my one of my biggest gripes with the show. Now you know. So Mikkel, you have anything you want to add?
Just said now. Yeah, but good points about that stuff. Yeah.
All right, let's move on then. Powerful animations. This is yours, Vlad.
Yeah. Okay. I actually think we should jump through this because we're gonna speak about fights in a bit, and that's very much a big part of it.
All right, then we'll go to inconsistencies, which is mine. Hey. So, as I was saying before.
Oh god.
Well. Yeah, you just go, Mads.
Yeah. Okay, the reason why I took two subjects, which pretty much I knew I had to say negative stuff about the show, is because I knew Vlad loved this show. So I was thinking, okay, he's gonna talk about how good it is. Then let me say some bad parts. That was my thought process. But anyway, so yeah, and I think there are some inconsistencies in the show, like the ones that I've already mentioned. But other than that, we also have. In the first episode, there's that whole thing where they're showing where, first off, when Dracula is talking with his wife, he's talking about how the classic vampire weaknesses. He's mocking that, like garlic and crosses and all that. And then we also show that when the demons attack the town.
You're bringing that up.
Yes. That churches and none of the priests, they're aren't protected at all by any holy stuff from these demons and all that. So so the show is telling us that the whole classic ideas of vampire weaknesses, don't even think about it. But then when we come to close to the end of season 2, so the evil priest dude or bishop, whatever, has become a zombie. And now he's making the entire lake into holy water, apparently, because a zombie bishop can apparently do that. And it's shown this holy water is like killing vampires as soon as they touch them and killing demons. So holy water, like that's being blessed by a priest that is a zombie, that is like deadly to vampires, which is a classic vampire weakness. But that goes against like what was shown before, where the classic vampire weaknesses were like marked by Dracula, and all of the holy stuff in the church and all that was shown is not having any effect. So yeah, that's I feel is a pretty big inconsistency. So does the classic vampire weaknesses, do they work? Do they not? I don't know, because the show isn't consistent. And how can a zombie make holy water anyway? I'm sorry. And then there's also, I think we already touched a little bit about this with Dracula's kind of his plan has a tendency to kind of change, like in the show where he's like, I will kill all of them, but then it was like, no, I won't kill all of them. We will feed on all of them, and then like, no, I will actually kill all of them, and I don't care about anything. And then when he meets Alucard, he's like, I will murder you. How dare you go against me? And then he's like, but you're my son. Oh, my dear son. How can I hurt you, even though I was trying to kill you before? And I'm like, make up your mind. What's your plan?
Yeah, true.
Like, okay, with the whole Dracula one, I think we already discussed this a bit, where he's kind of like, it's like intentional, where he's just going by emotion, where he's not supposed to really make sense because he's just acting on irrational emotions. But I still felt that it was kind of annoying that he kept on changing his like goals and what he wanted to focus on and what he cared about. Like at one point he like hates Alucard and beating him to death, and then he's just out of nowhere like, but you're my son, you're the only thing left left of my wife. Oh, I actually love you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about that as well. And in the beginning as well, when his wife is getting burned, and he's like, I'm gonna kill all of you. You have 1 year to pack your things. It's like, dude, you got a flaming skull and thrilling them, and you got like a year. I mean, a normal person would probably do that immediately, but he's like, I give you a year.
Yeah, and also, yeah, like he goes by, like, I will give you a year to escape, but then it's like, none of you, like, chose to heed my warning, now you will all die. It was like, okay, but then afterward he's like, all humans everywhere will die. It was like, and what was the point of escaping if you're gonna kill everyone anyway?
Exactly.
Like, what? Besides, one thing I have to say, isn't it a little on the nose that, like, as soon as like Dracula's wife dies, then he kind of like shows up like seconds after she's dead. Then he shows up. So what? He was 5 seconds late to save his wife. That's a bit much, but all right.
Well, that's the dramatics. That's for dramatics.
The last one is also just kind of like an ending thing. Like, I'm done. I think for now.
You're done. For now.
For now. Do you have anything to comment, Vlad?
No.
But yeah, but despite all of this, it's still an enjoyable show. I just think it has it has its flaws. Yeah. So, fights.
Well, should I start or should you start?
Yeah, you should start, Mikkel.
I mean, you got the first case, but basically I just want to talk about, how they animated like the fight scenes. Because I really love this final moment. The way they combine their strengths to fight both the vampires and Dracula. I mean, I like basically everything about this. I mean, the vampire power, the weapons, and the magic. I mean, I think everything is it fits perfectly together. But if we're gonna talk about like the power, that's probably more you than me. But I just enjoy this animation. It's really smooth when you watch it.
Yeah, exactly. The animation is very, very smooth. But I also just like how much emphasis they put on the impacts. It's just every time Trevor uses the Morning Star, it's just the swoosh, and then when it hits, it's just a big explosion. And it's so impactful. Everything is so, it's very, and it's also very cool how you can see differences in particular. I'm thinking about Trevor and Alucard. Again, Trevor is very jump, switch, kaboom, and and Alucard is so much more flowy, and again he sips. Yeah, he sips around and just uses his long sword to make these very clean, very smooth flourishes through the enemies. It's so cool how you can see in the animation and how you can see in the animation the differences in the ways the characters fight.
Exactly.
Yeah, and again, Cypher it's basically a raid party watching her fight, because it's constantly blue light, red light. Again, it's so cool. So yeah, it's definitely and I also think that the sound design is such a big again thing for this, because again I don't think it would have been nearly as effective if they didn't have great sound designers behind this.
No, the sound design is really good. I agree.
Yeah,
The only thing I didn't really like, but I wish the vampire put more of a fight. To be honest, because when I watched the fight in the castle, I was like, these vampires are dying way too fast. Even the main ones. You expect them to have like a special powers, which they have, but they still got defeated like really quickly. And I know they're full power and they're really badass, but still, I mean, I just wish there was a little more fight from the vampire. But besides that, it's really awesome. Especially the Morning Star. I mean, for fuck's sake, that's a really nice touch.
Great. I don't have anything more to add to this. I just like the animation and the sound design and the differences in. Yeah.
Yeah, I also like the fight scenes, and I agree with you, Mikkel, that they do like in the final battle, so to say, they do very quickly like get rid of almost all the vampires and servants like in the castle before they like fight Dracula himself.
Yeah.
So they do like speed run it a little bit.
Yeah, but besides that, it's a good fight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a good. Yeah.
Like as far as action goes, like this is really a solid show. If you're only looking at the action, then the show is super solid. Nothing to complain there.
All right.
And I think that's it. Yes. Woo! So now we come to the best part of the show. Spin the wheel, and Mikkel, you're not on the wheel this time because you chose this anime, so it's just me and Vlad.
Oh fuck! I need to. Oh, where's my mobile? No!
Oh, I think you're safe, Vladdy. It's me. I'm choosing the next anime, and I think I'm gonna be good with myself this time. So we're gonna pick an anime that I really like. So we're gonna watch Saga of Tanya the Evil.
Hey!
Yes.
Amazing.
And it has an example of how to do fictional historical settings, but I'll get to that. So yeah, thanks for watching. This has been the Anime Monsters of the Apocalypse, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.